Let me just start by asking you something. Are you still sitting at your kitchen table or your desk at 5 p.m. on a Tuesday night, staring at your lesson plans, trying to figure out how to make them feel more real, more engaging, more meaningful, completely by yourself? Because honestly, that used to be me. And here's what I've learned since then: you were never meant to do this work alone. And that's what I'm here to talk about. All right, you guys. Hey, I'm Kristen Moore, your host here on the Modern Math Teacher Podcast. And in today's episode of Poolside PD, we're talking about why planning in isolation makes the work feel so much heavier, so much harder, and how working alongside other teachers who can get it can completely change your life, your confidence, your lessons, and your student engagement. My friends, planning alone feels heavy because it's hard. Do you know that we have like hundreds of decisions to make alone? Like, what real world example am I going to use? How am I going to scaffold this lesson? How am I going to assess the lesson to make sure that they know what the learning target and the success criteria are going to be? And how am I going to manage the class through it? All of these are things that we're thinking about when they're designing a lesson. Okay. And when you're doing this and you're all by yourself, you're just going to second guess yourself constantly. Like, do I really like this one? Is that going to be the one that's going to engage my students? Do I really think that I want to teach them how to do a think pair share? Are we going to do a think pair share, a think pair square? Like, what is it that I'm going to do with them? Okay. And you have no feedback loop, just this internal process in your mind. You feel like you're the only one trying to teach differently. Okay. And so you see all these other people and they've got their systems and plans in place. You're constantly in comparison mode and you're feeling like you're the only one who is stuck and struggling. And this just creates exhaustion and decision fatigue. And it's not because you are not capable, okay? But it's because you're trying to carry too much of the load on your own. And that's why you need a group of teachers to collaborate with, whether you are the only teacher in your school or the only teacher who's trying to try something new. You need a small group of teachers who are doing this work too to collaborate with, because collaboration creates connection, and connection is key, as we know, to engagement for students and for you. Collaboration can change everything. So you need a small group of teachers who are doing the same kinds of things that you're doing so that you can borrow project ideas. What worked in somebody else's Algebra 1 classroom might work in your Algebra 1 classroom too. You need to be able to hear how other teachers are scaffolding tough skills. You want to ask them, listen, I've got factoring coming up. I know my students struggle with factoring. What's working for you? How are you making that real, relevant, connected? What are you doing to make sure that they're getting the procedural skills down, right? While also getting in that application, like, how are you doing this so that I can do better? We're going to learn from each other. You can troubleshoot those sticky spots before things spiral out of control in your classroom because you've got another set of teacher ears and eyes and minds helping you think about these things. And you're going to feel a whole lot more confident trying new things. Okay. You, my friend, you do not need 50 new resources. You don't need a complete overhaul of everything you've ever done. You just need people who speak your same language and can walk this path with you. Okay. And that's where the power of collaboration comes in. You know, I love a good PLC, not the kind that I am mandated to go to that doesn't have any relevant meaning for me. But my favorite kind of PLC, professional learning community, is also a PLC, as in like a personalized learning community. Okay. These aren't just going to be things like extra meetings and like, let's have a status update on this and let's do a data dig on whatever. Okay. So PLCs, not PCs, PLCs that you want to be a part of aren't just going to feel like extra meetings. They're going to be a place to refine your craft when they're structured intentionally. Okay. So here's what's missing in most schools and in most of the PLCs that I've seen. Um, Things that are missing. Teachers are not focused on real world student centered math. They're just not, right? They are focused on procedural skills. They are focused on data analysis, what went wrong in the classroom, how can we better prepare them for the SATs, and other measurable outcomes that your school is specifically looking for their data points. A lot of PLCs are also missing a framework to guide the conversation and a comprehensive language that all of you speak know, and understand. And I don't mean just like 7,000 other acronyms, ELL, or is it MLL? What kind of LD did they have? What kind of accommodations are we putting into place? We don't need any more jargon. Okay. We just need a good framework that we're all grounded in that can guide our conversations so that we have that common touch point to come back to. Kind of like having an anchor activity that we keep coming back to. You need a framework to guide your teaching and your conversations. Okay. You also need support that is specific to your course or grade level or whatever it is, whether that's, algebra 1, geometry, algebra 2, middle school math. And that, you guys, is exactly what we're building inside the PLCs for the Modern Math Teacher membership. And it is something I was just talking about with one of our listeners. So, Melissa J, shout out to you. I know you're super excited about the PLCs. I am super excited about the PLCs. This is something we're both super excited about. I haven't run a PLC online in so long. My last group of teachers, we went through it together. And, you're not going to make everyone. That's okay. Right. But there were, I think, 6 of us who regularly met and checked in, and we shared about our project successes and our struggles and what we were planning in the upcoming months, and what kind of thoughts did we all have on how to do it. And there's just so much power in those conversations. Okay. And that's part of the membership overhaul that I am most excited about. You're going to get in on that community. So this is not just a vault of downloads. Of course, you get those, right? But you're going to get those PLC meetups offered twice a month because you and I both know that there's going to be some like random back to school night thrown in on your calendar, and you're going to need flexibility to come and meet with these teachers when it works for you. Okay. Not just a one and done. Let's offer it 2 times, different days to make sure that everyone's got opportunity to come. And listen, if you can make both, live the dream, right? I'm going to give you guys some targeted coaching calls around lesson planning, project design. Some of them are going to be hot seats, Q&As. You want it, you got it. We're going to do this together, my friends. We are better together. Okay. You're also going to have access, obviously, to so many other teachers who are implementing the real world math right now in their classrooms. They're following those same ideas. They know what it means to be real, relevant, rigorous. They know how to go through the reality check on their lessons. They can give you those insights. What they're seeing in their classroom might help you with what you're seeing in your classroom. And of course, this is going to be a safe space to ask questions and troubleshoot without judgment. There ain't no judging here. Okay. There's just not. We're not about that life. Inside the membership, you're not just like buying access to a bunch of resources. Cool. Like download a giant bundle on TPT, get a bunch of resources. Download one of those big mega bundles from any of the summer sales, right? I don't want you to just buy resources. I want you to join a personalized professional learning community that exists specifically for this kind of work. So, as a quick recap, you guys, you do not need to be the lone wolf anymore. I've been there. It sucks. It does. You don't need that anymore. You don't have to figure it all out in isolation. What you need is a community that gives you the resources and the support to implement them confidently. And that is what you're going to get when you join the Modern Math Teacher membership. So if you are ready to stop planning lessons alone, head to the link in show notes, get on the waitlist for the membership. Doors are going to open in early August. If you have a teacher bestie who is also currently planning alone, or like you guys just communicate sometimes and they're at one school and you're at another school, my teacher bestie, oh, she left me so long ago. I got new ones. They're great. I love them all. But I still talk to my very first teacher BFF. Like we message each other constantly. So if you have a teacher bestie that you've worked with in the past or present or whatever, you want them to join in on this membership, please share this episode with them. The more you spread the word, the more teachers I can help. Stop feeling alone. Stop over hustling. That like we're not about that life. We're stronger together. We're better together. Let's do this together. Okay. Go ahead and DM me at More Than Just X if you want to talk through how the PLC meetups might be working. I would love to save you a seat inside at the table. All right, you guys. Until next time. Ooh, sun's coming out. I'm gonna go head outside. I want you to keep cool, and as always, keep it real.